little introduction about what you are doing. I have spoken about the communitycoins.org initiative and how I backed you up on that initiative. People that share a community have an excellent reason to connect themselves with the Bitcoin blockchain. Add a little bit of data, processing data to the Bitcoin blockchain by maintaining their own blockchain. And yeah, the intro also said, of course, that you are one of the developers of eGuild and EFL, but for today, I think communitycoins.org would be a good topic to talk about because, in case you didn't hear me at the start, I would like today to be um, uh, acceptable for everybody, so not too technical, and mostly about how are we gonna reach the masses in 2024. We have already spoken about it a million times, but I really want to focus on that topic. We should, I believe that we are with only a very small group of people that are involved in crypto today. The Bitcoin maximalists like to believe that they are with the majority, or they have they have their social bubble and believe that the entire world is using Bitcoin, but uh, we are with a very 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 small minority. So how do you see 2024, and how what is your way of trying to reach out to a bigger audience? And is it up to us even? I don't know. How do you see it?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We are with a very small group, but when you look at coin market cap, you see we are with numerous groups, let's say a few thousand coins. And the problem with that is they are all competing with each other, competing in the sense of look at it from the point of view. Uh, how would you think
Oh, sorry.
they,
You had a breakup. You look at the
uh,
point of view, and then you.
from the Litecoin team, for example?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How would they look to Dogecoin?
But they are actually merge mining. They are very happy with Dogecoin.
Yeah,
Litecoin,
okay, yeah.
that
No,
is not
but
the best example.
now maybe Litecoin not because they are yeah um, yeah, maybe still it's a good example because those teams have some affiliacy, but they're from my point of view, they're competitors. Competitors with respect to conquering the world and to be the best. And why wouldn't they stop? Why wouldn't the Dogecoin developers stop doing what they do and help Litecoin with all their might?
Okay. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, in fact, the problem of running a cryptocurrency network is enormous. And with starting from EFL team, uh, we tried to find like-minded teams focusing on a coin with a regional boundary, country coin, so to say, and see how they manage, what their problems were, and what they think would be necessary to maintain a cryptocurrency network in full flavor, being able to compete with something which is pressing, uh, kind of, which is central bank digital currencies.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we want to be a real alternative, we have an immense amount of work. And as I said 10 years ago, and I say now, we are not ready to take the responsibility of um, um, yeah, supporting the Netherlands. And what's necessary to be able to support it is it's manifold. And I know from this to-do list, this project plan, that I will not finish it during my lifetime. So yeah, we need help. But one easier example for you and the people that are watching is the area of marketing, explaining. We are with a very small team, and we are not able to reach. Uh, look at EFL to reach more than 3, 4, 5,000 people. And from that point on marketing stagnates. Not because we could do a lot more about it, but it's not my profession. My profession is development, software development. I'm not a marketeer. And forgive me that, our other developer, Dennis, is not a marketeer either. Something like
I am just a clown. I'm just a clown. Johan doesn't even understand that EFL needs help, so he only promotes the Libertarian Party.
Promoting ours.
Yeah, but the problem is that, let's say the opportunity of community coins is that you multiply yourself if you don't compete and are willing to help. So what we did is to inventarize the capacity in each of our teams, where are the strong points, where are the weak points, and how we can help. But one common factor is that we are all volunteers. We are not, I'm kind of professional, but I don't earn money by what I'm doing, so I'm not being paid. And you can only go that far. What I see, for example, with the other cryptocurrency, which are combined in community coins, which is kind of eCoin and Fujicoin and Auroracoin. We are all volunteers, and we need to have the food on the shelf. So
yes,
we need to earn our money, and
tremendous investment.
Yes, it's a personal dedication. And I always said from the beginning of the event, I will dedicate 10 years of my life to EFL. But that's
running out. We got 3 months. Well, but the urgency of a local blockchain is not on anybody's scope today, and something needs to change about that in a way.
Yes, but it can only work through cooperation, and you have to avoid competition in that sense. And I don't say the example Litecoin, Dogecoin was maybe a bad example, but mainline, they are different teams and they don't really cooperate. They are working on their own challenges. And you even see it with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is trying to solve everything. It doesn't have to. If it would have stick to, let's say, the technological level of 2017, 2018, that would be quite sufficient. The extensions, the transaction times, the store signatures, it's all to do with trying to increase the capacity a little bit, to increase privacy a little bit. But I don't think. First of all, it makes things more complex, and you could put all that complexity on other levels on top of Bitcoin. So, for example, what I'm working on now is a multi-coin one. And when you look in the source code of that multi-coin, several examples of them, but the source became incredibly complex because it has to accommodate for all types of peculiarities of each different coin. They all invent something to be better than the others, and if they would have just stick to Bitcoin, remain compatible with it, and solve a few important things like the 50% attack, then that would have been sufficient. But now our code base also becomes incredibly complex. Say the code has to be multiplied by the amount of coins that you accommodate in your multi-coin wallet. So the idea of a multi-coin wallet was driven by the idea of let's not everybody invent their own portable wallet. Let's try to build something which can be used by all coins. And for example, the Virgin EMARC has no mobile wallet. And currently with Atomic Dex we have, but it is an extension of an experiment we did in 2015, which was the Vel.nl hosted wallet, which was kind of a prototype of what would be needed and the problems that need to be solved with a mobile wallet. And these are, if you look at Bread Wallet, if you look at Coinomi, if you look at Coinbin, these are all insufficient to function as an alternative for cash payments.
And for what reason? For what reason is it not sufficient?
First of all, because with cash payments you can't wait, and with any blockchain you need to have at least one confirmation from the network, which is a long route, which could take. It depends, but it can take an hour, it can take 1 minute, but that's too long for cash payment.
Yeah.
So you need zero confirmation, and for that you need to have a connection with the network. And the only solution is to have a direct connection with the recipient. So what we are incorporating in the new portable wallet proposition is a parallel peer-to-peer network. The cryptocurrency network itself cannot be used to accommodate zero confirmation transactions. You need to send the transaction which you put on the network directly to the recipient, which he can verify himself if it has been if it has been signed by you, if it has the correct amount and the correct currency. And this needs to be transmitted directly, instantly. And then you've got an instant payment. And there's more to it because, the blockchain is completely open. You cannot send anything over the blockchain, which needs to remain private. And you would think a cryptocurrency network, a cryptocurrency ledger is crypto, it's hidden, you can't look at it, but it's the entire opposite. You can see everything which is on the blockchain. And with an instant payment, if you go to your butcher or your bakery, you at least you want a receipt. Before you pay, you want to see what you're paying for. A transaction is much more than a cryptocurrency payment. The transaction is
2 ways.
It is 2 ways, and we tend to forget the second way. the payer, the one who pays, has the weakest position in the transaction because he starts with the payment. He needs to be sure of the recipient's address. It's difficult to type. It can be scanned. Well, there are all kinds of problems to address the recipient, and the recipient can just say, "Well, I didn't receive it because of blockchain latency or whatever," and doesn't need to deliver the goods if he didn't receive the payment or says he didn't receive the payment. So you need much more within the transaction than just sending money to an address. And so that's why you also need a parallel peer-to-peer communication system by which you can gain trust regarding the person on the other end of the transaction. And that's an important thing also. And yeah, and the most important aspect of mobile payments is that it needs to be simple. It needs to be as simple as possible. That's what we try to do with Eval Vanel. We introduced the concept of a name to be able to address the recipient a little bit better. But yeah, it needs to be quick and simple. And grandma, sorry, grandma, but I try to make use her as an example of people that we are trying to reach with community coins, and which Bitcoin and Litecoin, Dogecoin don't need to reach. They exploit the current cryptocurrency community and the investment community, but not people who need to use cash as payments to evolve it into the community which we are aiming for. We are, as community coins, directed inwardly. So while we are looking inside a smaller community, while Dogecoin and Litecoin are aiming at the entire world population. And yeah, that's a completely different audience.
Yeah.
And no, we need simplicity first. First of all, if you look at Coinbin, for example, as a mobile wallet, it is so complex, and it's not so complex for us, but for people who are new in the business and try to use it, you as a promoter need to convince the everyday user. And if you spend your time by explaining a word that you accidentally used regarding to crypto, then you've yeah, you
already lost
your,
in a way.
yeah, you already lost it. Yeah. So
yeah, I you know, I'm living with crypto since 10 years. I'm living without a bank account, and I try to pay as much as I can with use of crypto, and I can fully back up your words here. It's incredibly difficult to connect with somebody that doesn't really have interest in money in a way, you know, that is not looking for a different way of payment because his cash payments are working for them. Although they lose a lot to inflation over the long run, they are not worried about it. And why would they give up their convenience of something they know which works every time because they just touch that paper? Um, and why would they want to be dependent on electricity, on the internet, on all, you know, the risk of losing or gaining value is not what anybody is after. You know, they
no.
so
So you need to be able to use the wallet offline, so to say, which is entirely possible to relax that situation. But yeah, the funny thing is that this is kind of my idea that these things are necessary. But nowhere in the market you see this notion. And talking about a parallel peer-to-peer channel, parallel to your cryptocurrency network channel. Nobody's talking about it. And how can it be achieved? The funny thing is that things like these come, they do exist, these notions, but you will never. For example, Russian Bitcoin, they are using Bluetooth, which is a fine mechanism to and a communication channel in which can be used in parallel to your cryptocurrency network. It is direct and instant, and you can transmit information that helps payer and receiver.
Yeah.
And these are one of the options. But if you both internet, that's also conveniently doable. So, but this is one of the things. And as I said, we have got a to-do list, or call it a project list, of what all would be all necessary to really present ourselves as an alternative to central bank digital currencies, because they will be fast. Why will they be fast? Because they don't have the problem of security. They don't need to mine their blocks. They don't need to mine their blocks. They don't have to wait. They can make things instant. And yeah, that's one advantage of central bank digital currencies technically. But then you have the central party, which can also block your payments or see what you are.
Or reverse your payments even.
Or reverse or filter or yeah. So this wallet arose to the top on the priority list. This needs to be done once the wallet is ready and well tested. You kindly invited to help us with that. But then we can start focusing on marketing. But it's more than marketing, and it is, as you said, also. No, you didn't say it, but you intended, or you hinted at it. You need psychology. People are. What is necessary for people that are not interested in money to make them aware of it is of its importance. And yeah, maybe psychology is not the right word, but
I refer to it as a spiritual war. Is my new favorite term.
Yeah, but careful.
No,
because
well,
you will reach 1%.
yeah, okay, but 1% could be enough in a way. And if the people start to understand that using debt currencies from governments is helping these governments to fight all these wars that everybody seems to care about, because look at the social media posts today, everybody fighting with each other about one flag over the other, and they are all interested in that in some part. They all have an opinion on that. And what if you are actually funding all that with your trust in that debt currency of governments?
You're absolutely right.
And so that
it
is
is
what
education. You can call it like
education,
yes.
of course, yeah. And the thing is that you can educate all you want, but the people can only learn something if they are willing to learn. I've been trying to educate people for years, and I've come to the conclusion after all this time that my words don't matter because the people don't want to hear them. They are too busy with what they are doing. And so there needs to be some form of urgency towards them getting triggered to learn. And in that way, I think 2024 can be a great year for crypto because it's going to be an election year. I believe something like 10% of the globe is going to vote in the upcoming year. And during election years, more crazy things happen than in non-election years. And yeah, with the launch of the Bitcoin ETF in a week or so, at least that's the prediction, of course, all speculation, no financial advice. But if Bitcoin has a steady rising price all year, at some point, I really do believe that price is gonna trigger people into looking at what is really happening and not just believing their mainstream media telling them what is happening, but looking for it themselves. Because again, people can only learn if they want to learn. And so far, they have been distracted, let's call it like that. And the people simply don't have the need, the will to figure something out, to spend their time on that. They prefer to their next Netflix show, they prefer to fight each other on social media over which part of the war they should be supporting. But nobody is looking at the deeper issue that the money is a form of communication in a way, and it solves a problem, a very important problem of valuing each other for their work, let's call it like that, their life energy. And we have all gotten used to a certain form of communication because it has been forced by governments from our day of birth. And we have just accepted it as reality, but it can all be done different. And that is always my point. We can do this different. This has been a solution, a invention of people, and that's why we can change our way of solving problems.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
But you must be aware. I mean, you can be too idealistic also. So you need to be. I think it's wise to be realistic.
absolutely,
And
you
for
need
me,
real world proof in this.
yes, but as I tell you that maintaining a cryptocurrency network, you are just using it in a way, marketing and promoting. I mean, this is an important aspect also. But um, I don't have much help.
Oh, oh,
Sorry, I
it's,
touched back again.
it's okay, we hear you.
Okay.
And actually, the sound, there is some beeping sound in the background when you speak.
The washing machine, perhaps.
No, it is. I touched the microphone.
Okay, okay.
No, there's a high tone beeping on the, and it's just like the I don't know. No,
No, it's
No,
okay. We can overcome it.
it's
It's okay.
it's extremely silent here. So
Okay,
okay,
okay.
okay. Or maybe it is the static energy on the microphone.
okay.
You pull the plug in and out.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
No, but the problem is that there's a lot of work to do. I would die to help you with marketing and promotion. I don't have time. It's my time is limited in more than one sense, and yeah, let's. I must focus, and once the wallet is available, and I'm being helped with that by the other community coin members. But yeah, it's we are a small team, so to say, and I think mobile wallet, which is really a solution for cash payments would be an interesting proposition from the part of community coins. Then we have something to offer mutually, and that proposition can be used for marketing purposes also. So,
yeah, well, we are looking forward to hopefully next year during the Bitcoin birthday stream, we will use it.
yeah, yes. I stopped saying it will be ready by then and then, but it's always a matter of compromising, and speed is also important. So, yeah.
Yeah. And could I ask you, Gerrit, in a more broader sense, because it's difficult to have a discussion with you because I basically agree on all that you are saying. So it's not so easy for me to just go against anything or ask a critical question. But could you share with us your outlook for 2024 and what you see happening, for example, with the Bitcoin ETF that is a hot topic, or just more in general, the broader aspect of where society is going? There is so much movement in the last couple of weeks.
It's a dangerous year. I'm convinced of that, and dangerous in the sense of well, you see the enemy clear and simple, which is globalism, the World Economic Forum, and spheres like that. And it's your main title, Freedom Radio. That's what we're working on, freedom. And it's the exact opposites of where things are going. And central bank digital currencies are an important thread.
And do you see freedom being compromised on Bitcoin?
Yes, of course. I mean, the entire cryptocurrency world is hijacked by the banks, and I include exchanges in the category of banks. Yeah. So it's completely regulated. Even Bitonic isn't anymore what it used to be. And, yeah, they were the kind of Mohicans, the last ones standing. But yeah, that's a problem. So we need decentralized exchanges, and we need to stop working with fiat. That's the only alternative. So I'm very glad that, for example, this is where community coins prove to work, because now we have a marketplace which is called No Hodl,
yeah,
which is the equivalent of money has to be used for spending. Yeah. And it's a marketplace where EFL and all the other coins are very welcome. And it's a lot of work to maintain such a marketplace, and it's still fragile. It's still also the No Hodl developer could use a lot of help, but he's doing his best. He's working from Poland. He was associated with the Deutsche E-Mark, and from that linkage, we came to know him, and he offered his help to, let's say, the EFL community. So, did you already sell your picture?
I have not sold it yet, but I have also got to be honest that I haven't looked if anybody made an offer.
That's the point. You can't be everywhere. Yeah.
No, but I think I would have received some email from it, and I didn't receive anything. So.
No, but marketplace, and that's what I wanted to point at, is vital for, and the marketplace to spend your current holdings of cryptocurrency, because I think that's an important thing, because that's what you asked for. for next year. We already tried to focus on that in 2021 when we had a campaign called how is it called, the New Economy, and yeah, well, that had completely no traction, and we need to investigate why and what was wrong and what we need to do to improve it, because that was an effort to get things rolling within the eval economy. So you need to be able to advertise your product, which you exchange for cryptocurrency, whether it's eval or something else. So you need marketplaces, but if a marketplace doesn't work, it's also chicken egg problem, because the current marketplaces, even though HODL is still a low volume marketplace, so you not be able to find what you want.
It's again the same issue that, whatever you can get on no hodl, in a way you can get somewhere else, and
yes, but
find a place like that first. They people need to know about it. We are in such a small group of people working with crypto. Why would I start to advertise there?
But it's also a bit conflicting, because in the beginning we said the opposite. HODL was the word.
A lot of people still do.
And a lot of people still do. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, we are still quite comfortable in the market. But if they don't and sell it on the market for fiat, yeah, then we would lose. But if they if they spend only a small part of their position, the current people that have currency liquidity, only a small 10% spend it on the market as a way to distribute, as a new way to distribute, because spreading it through helicopter kind of campaigns, I think we have reached our limits, and that's so marketing costs money also. I mean, if you want to have some television exposure, you will lose 10,000 euro in no time. And
I think this is a niche market. You can better than marketing directly to instead of on the radio and television.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
On
That's right. Yeah.
The marketing on Twitter with banner ads or tweakers or other.
Yeah.
PC Totaal.
Yeah, that's right. So, well, but here is a non-marketeer speaking. So, so we need your advice there, and yeah, that's how know-how can be helped also by helping him to promote. So we need to do that. So, well, what did I do? I put the know-how website on Wikipedia, our Wikipedia. I didn't put it yet on, because it could be presented on our main website as a marketplace, not an exchange, but a marketplace. How can we help? No HODL, as an example. So it needs to be a chapter on our website. But next, it needs to be promoted, and we might retake the newsletter sphere, but yeah, there needs to be done a lot with this simple example of know-how. So
a lot of challenges still ahead. And when I started with all this, like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, I was like, oh, everybody's gonna get it, because I was young and naive, and I have a background in finance. So for me, it all made sense very quick, and I saw how it would work, and I fully I was fully convinced that with the proper information, everybody would make the switch. But looking at what's happening today, uh, I can only say I'm flabbergasted that it didn't evolve more than it did, and that it's just such a small group of people of whom the majority is not actually interested in using their crypto, but is only using it as an extension to their government debt currencies to become rich,
Yeah.
you know. And yeah, that's really something that I did not foresee myself in a way.
No, but don't blame yourself for that. Yeah, well, that miser.
Yeah.
Because I think we reached 5,000 people, and that's not nothing with the means we have. And um,
I had a moment of 180,000 people, but
mm,
never mind about that.
yeah, okay, yeah, well, it is all kind of levels.
The thing is with that, to explain it a little bit more, I was on television once with the EFL, but if that would have been the moment, I really believe that the information that the people would have received to start to participate would have not been the right information for them to stick around as soon as they would have received some different information, because that kind of propaganda, that kind of manipulating of reality, does not make you sustainable for the long run.
No.
And so everybody needs their own time in a way to process what is happening. And it's just that I would have expected the society to process this information much quicker. In 2 hours' time, we have the CEO of bitmymoney.com, and I read his latest blog post on his website, bitmymoney.com, because I wanted to get a little bit info on what he's doing and everything. And they had an interview with a Dutch citizen who shares his involvement in Bitcoin and how he is using it. And it's so incredibly conservative. He is holding on to this idea that society works on fiat, and that, you know, he is just using it as a savings account. And it's an honest story. You know, this man is real. That's the way how they live their life. And
Yeah.
so um,
But since you asked me about the near future, I think there's much more development on a lot of on a very different scale. I pointed you, I don't know if you remember, recently to exopolitics.
yeah, I did.
And
Yes, I remember.
well, you get into spheres where nobody will follow you. But I think there is happening a lot, and it will happen soon. And the government is, uh, for example, David Adair is one example of a guy who was involved with many government programs, or he was involved with the space shuttle the developments and experiments with it. And you don't want to know how much information is kept secret from us, from the people,
Yeah,
because
I believe that.
because it proved to work, and they didn't want to uh, give that away, because you can look at the big companies. They have an yeah they have to defend their position, and yeah, you can look at big pharma. They need to um, um, they don't need to cure you. They need to
Make customers.
Keep you
yeah,
dependent.
Yeah.
yeah. So
And that's why I'm saying that it needs to be a spiritual a spiritual shift of consciousness in a way. And
yeah,
all religions are based on the same idea in a way,
yeah.
you know, to keep
So
you dependent and keep you scared. And I think the entire shift that needs to happen is so much bigger than just only money. And that's now the direction I'm going in since a couple months.
Because that's your that lies within your capacity to do something about it. It's so obvious that it contributes to freedom and
Yeah.
to put a bar in the wheel of those that take a different direction.
Yeah.
So I think we are with cryptocurrency in the same line of problems as we see on completely different levels also.
Yeah.
And what I'm still interested in is where does cryptocurrency come from? I mean, it is ingenious, but it's all plain mathematics. I mean, I can understand it to the fundamental level. So it's not so complicated, but
How can it be launched exactly on the day that the Times newspaper published a story about banks? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, yes. And more around it. So where does it come from? The cyberpunks and communities like that. But there are higher spheres which are being deafened by governments and by big pharma, big corporations.
Yeah. It's impossible to know everything. You have your own set of talent, and based on that, you specialize into some field that you could become an expert on. But then there is so much more in this world that you miss because you only have one life. You only have so much energy, like you say. You only have so much time.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to. It's impossible to know the entire thing of everything. That's just.
But there is an emergency arising, emergency situation, and I don't know if it's 2024, but I think it will be soon. They're threatening you with 2028 and 2030, owning nothing and be happy. Well, it's that's soon enough.
Yeah.
So maybe
I'm very excited for it. In a way, I'm very happy to be alive today and to live in this exciting time. Much more exciting than, I don't know, the past 50 years in a way, because things just happened and everything was nice, everything was great, but there wasn't too much excitement happening. There was innovation, but yeah.
Interesting times.
Not on the level that we see today.
Yeah.
So, do you want to make any last statement, Gerrit? Because we are reaching the end of our hour. We have to fill 10 more minutes.
I had also a question. Huh?
Oh, Johan, maybe question. Of course, Johan. Go. Let's do Johan. Let's do your question.
I try to do it in English. On the streamers, they have something called Patreon. That is where the listeners, the audience, they can send you money, and that's usually in dollars. But in the past, we had something similar, and there was Tip Bitcoin Cash. It was with Bitcoin Cash, you can send little pieces of money to the streamer.
Yeah.
And because of some unknown reason, it stopped. It didn't work anymore, and the developer he said goodbye and left the project, and it's not working anymore. And I was hoping that something similar could come back because it was very easy to use for the audience, and they can send me a message, and it was played like a text-to-speech message. And you could hear it in the broadcast. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I've got an idea, but it's like a tipping robot.
Tipping
And
service, yeah.
if you want to tip, you need the recipient address of your spectators.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you could scan a QR code with the telephone where the wallet was. Or you had also a browser plugin.
yeah, but
Then you, yeah.
the rewarding was manual by you.
Yeah, they could send like 500, like 500 satoshis was the minimal amount. Yeah, it's
Okay.
like a cent.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
if you use EFL or Auroracoin, that would be look the Bitcoin API, which is valid for EFL and Auroracoin also and all the other coins. It's quite simple. I
yeah.
mean, if you don't have it on the platform at hand, you just need a recipient address and to transmit it to an intermediary API, and then the recipient receives. But it would be nice if you also saw the results in your streaming service. So in Patreon, you would have seen the emission of your coins, maybe.
Yeah, I used an text-to-speech API from Streamlabs that was
Yeah.
reading the. Yeah, you had also some service that was reading the blockchain from Bitcoin Cash, and that that became it was not free anymore. So the user tip Bitcoin Cash had to pay for this to read the blockchain, and I think that's the reason they quit. He stopped
All
developing
right.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's yeah. Where would you like to use it? In here, for example, or
Yeah, with EFL because I
yeah.
give away EFL, so my listeners they have EFL, and maybe something with EFL.nl or something that they can send it very easily, and then it plays it um, and
Yeah,
a message during the stream.
yeah, but you need to invite people to broadcast their recipient address. So
Yeah, that would be my recipient address, I think.
what do yeah, it depends. If you want to send a tip to someone else, you need their recipient address.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, in this case, it's, the listener, the audience is sending
Tips.
something to the address of the broadcaster.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's this, and then when that he receives a little amount of EFL, then that sent the message that is written to the text-to-speech software or the API from Streamlabs.
Okay, but we can
Yeah.
elaborate that.
And I have to plug in from Streamlabs in my broadcast software, and he plays it during the stream.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how it works. Yeah, my programming skills are not good enough to make something, create something. So I'm looking for a developer, something who knows how this works. So maybe you're busy, but maybe you know somebody in your circle.
Yeah, I know people in my circle, but like Michael, he's very busy also.
Oh
And
yeah, that's the problem with developers. They're always busy. Yeah.
no, like a marketplace. Well, did you? Can I ask Mark a question? Because did you look at the No Hole marketplace from um, FCK? No, it doesn't hear me. So
Okay.
no, but we just need to have some specs, and then the Bitcoin API is very simple to extend to a streaming service.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's a good moment, Johan, to add Mikael, because I see that he joined the chat.
okay,
Maybe it's possible to make it a four-way conversation and
yeah,
have a little overlap with Gerrit and
yes, ja.
Hi, guys.
Gooi maar in. Hi.
good day, Mister.
Hi.
Do I say Mikael? Mikael?
You can call me Michael.
Michael.
Yeah.
That's easier for me. Easier.
This is an old Icelandic spelling of Michael. It's pronounced Mikael.
Okay.
The double L is like a TL sound. Icelandic, yeah.
I will stay on Michael. It's easier for me.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Michael, and thank you for letting me know on such short notice that you could be part of our Bitcoin birthday stream. We have been talking for the last hour with communitycoins.org initiator Gerrit, and Auroracoin is one of those coins, part of the Community Coins Collective. My intention of today is to try and connect or at least speak a message of inclusivity of all crypto coins, because we are all very small groups, including Bitcoin. It's a very small group of people. And my main question of today is how to break out of our little circle and get to the bigger audience. And Gerrit has been talking about the development of a new wallet that needs specific usability so that crypto can be really used as P2P cash, because blockchain transactions are not really sufficient to provide with, it's just a payment. It's not a proof of transaction, or how to say that it's a one-way information. And that's what we have been talking about in the last hour, I guess. And Johan just asked the question to Gerrit. There used to be a service to tip crypto on streams, and we stream a lot every week. We make a radio show for the last 10 years, and since a couple of years we are also doing stream broadcasts. I stream often. And Johan would really like to see kind of a service come back where you can tip crypto coins towards streamers, so that even if it's just for a $0.01 equivalent, it's visible on stream that people are using it, and that way grow the awareness that crypto exists.
And it's being used.
And is being used, exactly, yeah. So that was what we were talking about just when you were joining the stream. And well, let's continue that topic, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you say that Bitcoin is also a small community.
That's my opinion, of course. I mean, maybe some people think different, but that is my perception of what's going on today.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's interesting because it is a valid perspective, especially when you compare it to the general public.
If I could elaborate a little bit more, it's also one of my main arguments against people that say that there is a fair distribution in Bitcoin and all the other coins are centralized in their way. You know, I'm looking in 100 years from today. We are currently experiencing hyperinflation in crypto money. 15 years ago, none of these coins existed. There is a very small community everywhere, including Bitcoin. They own all the coins, these people. And I don't believe we can talk about fair distribution at all. You know, distribution happens through adoption, and only if we spend coins not to sell them for fiat, but to spend them, for example, by buying a pizza with somebody, that is how the coins get distributed. And whether or not your mining protocol takes 50 years to generate all the coins, or 5 years to generate all the coins, it's not a fair distribution in any way. So that is my personal take. on this matter. I don't know if you agree on that or how you see that.
Well, I think you're right about keeping uh, the P2P element of crypto and exchanging crypto for crypto instead of fiat. That's what we ran into with Iceland's Auroracoin, which was fairly successful in its initial launch, where we launched to 10% of the nation claimed coins. So that was 30,000 people.
This was 10 years ago, correct?
That's right. We turned 10 years old on the 24th of this month.
All right. You are the oldest of country coins, if I can say it like that. You were the one
no,
that...
there was one right before us.
Oh, what's the name? And does it still exist?
German EMARC was in October 2013.
Really?
Oh, okay. Well, then there's another one too, and also another one that had a somewhat of a national airdrop as well.
All right.
And I'm speaking of Maza coin.
Oh,
right.
I know that one.
Yeah. So I try to give respect where respect is due. So, but Iceland was definitely the first large scale. Well, you had to be living in Iceland, and you had to basically prove your identity, which at first, which we used our national ID number, which is a kind of a funny thing. I mean, I was much more of a privacy advocate in the United States, but just something about living on an island with 300,000 people, where you don't really mind throwing your ID around for everything. I mean, we use our ID for all kinds of website identification, for banking and for services, and for I mean, even the crypto exchanges. I mean, everybody, if you're gonna authenticate your website or your app, it's just a given that you use electronic ID. But again, I think it seems to be completely driven by usability, and I just don't feel the same kind of privacy concerns that I would in the States or even in Europe. We're not in the EU, so I think also having that separation kind of helps me mentally. Also, it's something really specific to Iceland. But getting back onto like the fair distribution, I think that it's unfortunate how we have cryptocurrency whales, just like we have like the hedge fund managers, or and the Black Rocks and so on. So that's interesting, because it's a bit of a engineering issue. It's a bit of a social issue. It's a bit of a integrity issue. But I think you're also right that it's like, if we can build P2P marketplaces within a country. I mean, I would love to see people that are passionate about bartering systems utilize crypto as the currency. I've been involved in some bartering communities, and that also had a big problem with the differences between the cost of services. Right, trading haircuts for automobile repair was an issue. And you always had a middle person that was managing the vouchers and the credits, and so there was some um, inefficiencies of scale, and possibility of counterfeit and other things that crypto takes care of. And I think another thing would be like, I would love for these national currencies to have like some kind of like national eBay systems, where people use well, I mean, there's a place for for treating these as marketplaces and for being able to pay your bills. But lots of times people, when they're selling their old stuff, part of that reason is just to get rid of it, to get it out of their house, right? Because they're trying to clean up the house, and you have 3 old ashtrays that you just have kept on replacing or whatever, and they're like in Iceland, we have ashtrays made out of lava, and they look quite nice, and so that's kind of where I'm going to be placing some of my effort this year, is building up a uh, this idea of selling Icelandic goods either to foreigners or trading goods and services between Icelanders.
Mhm.
It's just an issue of onboarding and also having just really nice app. Everyone's really used to having high-powered apps that are very responsive, and
Yeah.
but I think we also have to communicate the idea that uh, there's more financial freedom and fairness in the crypto space. I think we could
Yeah.
help in that area with I don't know. I haven't really looked so much for Bitcoin. I know there's a lot of sites that are doing transaction tracking and tracking whale movements and such. But maybe there's some metrics that can help, like, easily explain the dispersion of coins and etc. So it's again, there's a big education need within this space.
Would you like to add something, Gerrit? Because I've heard you told me you were a little bit sick, so um, we have spoken over an hour. The flu is around everywhere. I don't know how you're feeling, but
Yeah. Sitting and listening is easy.
okay. But
But
you're welcome to stay, of course. Really, you are. But in
yeah,
case you do want to leave, I want to give you a proper goodbye and a thank you. But
okay.
feel
Now,
free
maybe,
to share.
And we also want to do a raffle, by the way. But,
The raffles are
continue.
coming. Raffles are coming.
okay, but yeah, well, what I wanted to add is wish Michael good luck with this session, but he's well experienced with it. But yeah, the problem is that we all have our own expertise, and we can't do everything. So it's whatever you do, it is a choice and a compromise between time, skills, and yeah, and money in a way. And
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it's
so I was in the for that I was in a bit of a comfortable situation, but I'm glad I came to know the four of you, and I hope we can help each other to make this work.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that Johan will maybe state his question on paper somewhere, for example, a forum post or in some
Yeah,
Telegram
fine.
group, and
Yeah,
we can talk about that one more. You know what you said, Michael, about the fairness of crypto. I think what makes it fair is that these coins can only be spent once, unlike the debt currency that can be printed forever by those that hold the monopoly on its creation, in a way. And if you make a wrong decision, or if you are going to spend your coins, then you have spent them, and after that, you can of course replenish your coins by working for more. But it's not as if you can just create them out of thin air. We have seen plenty of ICO projects pop up that just create tokens and manage to sell that for a huge profit. But that was all in a way voluntary. Nobody was forced to buy any of that. And also on these projects, once the coins are out, once the tokens run out, they are out. And in my opinion, that is what truly makes crypto more fair than a debt currency, which just can be printed forever and dilutes the value from all the other holders in a way. So I really share your opinion in that crypto is just much more fair. One of the things that Gerrit and me and Johan were just talking about is that I believe it shouldn't just be a monetary incentive that moves you towards crypto. It should be more of a, yeah, well, I always like to call a spiritual aspect of things. And your karma points will benefit if you use crypto, if I can say it like that, and how to bring that message across to people. It's
Well, I think that kind of touches on it on something kind of important, and that's like what communities are we trying to reach? So there's very large and active communities on the internet that are motivated by spiritual, um, enlightened principles, um, freedom of freedom from medical and financial and economic tyranny, and um, but I guess I have kind of a sense where they maybe they group the cryptocurrency in with TradFi, traditional finance.
yes, I agree. And they completely want to live out of all financial systems. As soon as they make that shift towards a different consciousness on that level, they say no, all money is evil. But it solves a real world problem. It's a form of communication to value each other's life energy in a way. And if you just live in the woods and you don't have anybody around you, you don't need any money. But the more complex your community will become, the bigger amount of people that are involved, the more you need a form of communication to, like you said, a haircut is not the same price as a repair of your car. So there needs to be some tool to overcome that difference. And everybody could make their own voucher and you say you have 3 haircuts for one car repairman. But mm, I think there is cryptocurrency or just money in general could really make cooperation between people a lot easier. And I don't see it as a bad thing, but
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, use your fiat to pay your fiat debt, use your crypto to give and
Mhm.
to share. And um I mean, I know even with myself, if I'm helping someone out, or let's say paying for something, every fiat, uh the fiat amount, I'm much more particular, or much more focused on its real value to me, and for what I can use it for. Or I mean, not just about me, but with crypto, I mean, maybe I'll give someone 100, maybe I'll give them 200, 300,
Exactly, yeah. Yeah,
1,000.
and
I mean, it's like
in
there's like this tipping giving element to crypto that doesn't exist in fiat
yeah, in
to
general,
the
don't
same
be
to the
afraid
same
to
extent. Yeah.
don't be afraid to spend it, even though in 10 years' time the value of it would probably be a lot higher than it is today. Be okay to allow somebody else that profit on your crypto if you spend it with them.
I I
Um,
I, I agree. I think maybe I would have changed some of my early Bitcoin spending habits, but
you know,
but the sentiment was the same. We don't
I
live.
bought I bought 100 of these masks for 0.25 bitcoins one day.
Okay,
That
yeah,
wasn't the best. That wasn't the best move I made.
no, and what was I going to say about that? Well, I mean, well, Bitcoin is a little bit different, but I definitely don't have a problem of taking a 0.001 Bitcoin, buying a bunch of like Auroracoin, let's say, for example, or EFL or Deutsche Mark or Canada eCoin, and then being free with those for sure. Um, But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is definitely, it's of course in a class of itself where we're looking for generational endowment and the world's first true store of value that seems to be holding its own. So
I think I made a video I think it's now a week old. It's called Hyperinflation. It's on my Rumble channel. A lot of people don't seem to recognize that we are in a hyperinflation moment with all these cryptos, and they are so focused on the price aspect of it that they fail to see how small these communities are, and that none of these people who are in these communities have any urgency to buy their coin at a higher price. We can just wait, let the coins be created, let them be sold on the market. Who wants to pay $100 for something that he can get for $1? So in my opinion, that the price against Bitcoin is going down is only a sign of a healthy market, and especially the coins that break out of that Bitcoin uh, downwards sphere is the ones that I feel, how to say the right word, that I am a little bit skeptic of, because who is going to buy all these coins if they can just, they are not really, there is no real purpose of buying it urgently, and so um, and those that declare coins dead just because for the last 5 years the price has been going down, I think it's really short-sighted of those people. But they are they create a narrative where they say there is Bitcoin and there is crypto and all the rest is shit, and that is what I'm trying to speak out against. But hey, I'm just one guy, not achieving. Not really achieving my goal with that, but yeah, for me, it's only a sign of a healthy market that in the current phase, coins are losing against Bitcoin, because Bitcoin in itself is such a strong brand, such a strong coin that, and you're right, I don't mind having bought or buying EFLs or Auroracoin or whatever coin, and then the next day I see that somebody has sold it for a 10% cheaper price. I don't feel like I lost in that transaction. No. Gerrit, I see your message. Thank you for being here with us today, celebrating 15 years of Bitcoin. We are looking forward to the development of that wallet that you spoke about.
Yeah.
Please let us know if you need anybody testing that wallet. Then
Yeah,
we will certainly spread that amongst our community members.
Of course.
And be well. Don't take a good rest. Eat some healthy fruits. Uh, and yeah,
I'll survive. Huh?
we all hope so for sure.
Okay.
All right.
Good. Good luck.
Thank you, Gerrit.
I hit it. See you next week.
Bye bye.
Oh, you meet on a regular basis, Michael.
Yeah, we've met on. They work pretty much on a bi-weekly, every 2 weeks. At this point, we've
Okay.
gone through periods of time where we're meeting weekly. It all depends on really what our individual time availability is and kind of what we're working on. And but yeah, it's really nice to be working with Canada eCoin and EFL and Deutsche Mark. We're also have a loose connection with Fuji Coin in Japan and Pak Coin in Pakistan.
Yeah.
But there's much more of a uh, time and language barrier there.
Yeah. I see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hey, is there something you would like to talk about, Michael? Because I can always put things forward, but I would like to hear from you also. What is going on in your mind? How do you see, for example, 2024 developing? What is a goal that you set for yourself? You already mentioned it a little bit, but let's go into
Yeah.
it a little bit more.
Well, I mean, I don't operate in a bubble, or I don't live in a bubble. I'm constantly scanning what's going on in the world, and well, there's quite a bit. So I think we're going to see continued inflation. I don't know if we're going to creep into hyperinflation somehow. Um, these markets have been held down for quite a while. I mean,
Crypto markets,
whether
you mean?
what well, even the gold, silver, real
Okay, okay.
estate,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
dollar's inflation. I mean, it. We know that the inflation is higher than they report, but I think we've all been waiting for what is it called, the roosters to come home and roost for quite a while.
Okay.
Um,
I don't know how they call it, but I like your analogy.
yeah. So
I believe that the BRICS nations met in somewhere in August, and they have announced that starting the 1st of January 2024, they will actively start to de-dollarize. So that would mean if those roosters are gonna roost at home, that would really, for America, could be a trigger for a much higher inflation than there already is. And quite recently, the Fed spoke out that they have been sending the message that no, we're going to keep interest rates high, we're going to keep them high. And in their last meeting, they kind of hinted at the interest rate going lower.
Yeah.
So those are all signs that maybe we are not so far away from what you have just mentioned.
right, and that's I've been trying to wrap my mind around this as well. Is like how hyperinflation is going to feed into more people moving their money into crypto, and is $100,000 Bitcoin going to be an indication of is it going to be an indication of more adoption, or is it going to be really an indication of the value of the dollar or the value of fiat going down?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's when we're going to start when in the years to come. I think a lot of the growth in Bitcoin price would be because of the devaluing of the fiat currencies. So um,
Personally, my economy is happening in Satoshis. I made that decision in 2014. I wrote a letter to my bank, and they wrote me a letter back because I asked them, can I deposit my Bitcoins on my bank account? I don't like to use the euro because I don't feel good with debt currency, interest-bearing debt currency. They wrote me a letter back and they said, we cannot help you with your Bitcoin, but if you don't like to use euros, we will help you with that because we're going to close all your bank accounts. And that is when I made the decision that I was not going to give in to the social pressure, and I was going to make it my sport to avoid using debt currency altogether. And it's looking back at it, it would have been much smarter in a way to just keep on working a steady job and stacking sets every month or so. But I've and now I forgot the point that I wanted to make. Um, what did you say as last, Michael?
well, the devaluation of fiat and how that inflationary price could be a large a large part and reason of the increase in Bitcoin value.
For me, it's been very, very. I cannot wrap my head around how people are still referring to Bitcoin as a pyramid scheme, for example, or saying that it's all nonsense and it's you should it's gonna the bubble is gonna burst one day. And I'm thinking, like, just look at the numbers, man. I have experienced 800,000% inflation of your debt currency calculating in Bitcoin. So, although I do think that the price is one of the best marketing tools that exist, and if a coin is going up, for example, with Solana last month, all of a sudden, all my friends are wanting to, the price crossed $100 and everybody starts to talk about Solana, and it definitely has some aspect, but for me, if that is the aspect, that is for me the trigger to start selling in a way, because then the top is in, because those are the people that don't see the bigger picture of what's going on. And it could definitely help the narrative of crypto if hyperinflation occurs. But yeah, those people will then be too late in a way, you know. They will not really make a dent in what's happening anymore.
Yeah, it is really strange how $100 Solana seems more attractive to people than $10 Solana.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But you know, I guess we have to kind of keep everybody's perspective in mind. I mean, I would, because we still have a lot of people in society that well, everybody thinks a little bit differently, but there's some kind of mass formation thinking that's going on,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
we have to keep, I don't know, keep that perspective in mind somehow, even if it's to try to, you know, I have empathy for people who are still um,
Yeah,
operating under 100% trust of their institutions.
yeah,
And it's just a matter of time before, you know, when some of them pull away. I mean, it happens every year, and
what
well,
empowers me is the knowledge that once they do pull away, the chance of them going back are very slim. You know, so you can hear people that wake up, you know, as they like to call it. There is nobody going back to sleep after they wake up. You know,
yeah,
it's not as if people say, "Oh, I prefer the steak. Bring me back to the Matrix." You
that's right.
know,
Yeah.
so you know, Johan, you don't agree?
Yeah, I know people that were awake and then they didn't like that, so they went back to their old.
Yeah, well, it is a difficult
They
move
went
to
back to
make.
daddy government.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They
I mean, I
exist.
think, you know, I don't have any children myself, but I know that when, you know, with raising a family, you're immediately, you know, that's your focus on providing,
Yeah, yeah.
and what was I going to say about that? But I guess there's also this idea within crypto of bequeathing your family, you know, a bit of Bitcoin for the future. I mean, I have a lot of friends who primarily are holding their coins just for their children and not for themselves per se. So yeah, and maybe it's only, I mean, a marketing kind of concept, but I don't know. It's also, we want to get people that or we want to promote the idea of I also see there's some kind of dimensional power going on with blockchain. I mean, it's the culmination of um, anarchist thinking, mathematics, engineering. So because it is built on many accomplishments, human accomplishments, there's a strong dimensional power behind it that
Could you
I mean
elaborate a little more on what you mean with that?
um I don't know, like even this image behind me, right? The way that there's these concepts that are layered on top of reality,
Okay.
where faith and hope and love and these other types of intangible ideas exist, and um, blockchain and cryptocurrency are like our first open, transparent, free, uh, and most just monetary system that's existed on this on Earth to our the best of our knowledge, outside of, let's say, you know, 100% integrity and moral societies, which were probably based on much smaller populations.
Mhm.
Um, like what we did a documentary on Auroracoin in 2018, and we used this island. Can't remember the island right now, but they used large stones to
Hmm.
as their store of value.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, in the Pacific.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
no, yeah, I
I
know the
know
story.
about that one.
I don't know the name anymore. It's
I should
the
know. I
most
mean, I've yeah. Um,
successful currency in the human history.
okay. Yeah.
Uh,
So it was difficult to obtain the stones. Difficult to move them around, but like once you had them planted in the community, the shared community area, everyone knew whose stone that was.
yeah,
I believe that there was even one of the stones being transported from one island to the other, and then the boat sank, and the stone was underwater, and it didn't matter because they were just like, okay, the stone is there, and the stone belongs to that island now, and we don't have to see it for it to work.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I mean that's kind of true with transaction signing within cryptocurrency. So you can see, you know, like this whole issue with Satoshi and the first few blocks. You know, if somebody ever did come along and sign a transaction, sign a message using one of those using that public key by
Mhm.
using their private key, um, that kind of says, yeah, this stone is mine. I'm the one who owns this stone.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, maybe I can try to figure out ways to elaborate this idea of this dimensional energy, but it's like looking at a wall of books in the library and imagining all of the energy that was the behind the creating of the books and the ideas and the illustrations and the publishing and the distribution. You know, there's a lot more than just the books there. There's human
Yeah,
history and
yeah, yeah,
culture
yeah.
and power. So
I understand now.
that's why when people, you know, pick up a book, it can change their life, and you know that's not just happening in the brain of that one individual. It's some kind of shared community experience, and it kind of takes a life on its own. You know,
Yeah.
life of pi. You know, these there's movements that are made from it, and books, and they just it kind of takes, like I said, kind of takes a life of its own. So there's some aspect of that with crypto as well.
Mm.
Um, I mean,
I
we've
haven't
had
looked at it like that before. Because for me it was so obvious that this was gonna change the world, you know. But how you are stating it now, it because it is gonna change the world, it is just going to take an incredible long time. I have been privileged in a way to be born with a stable government, having a bank account with cheap resources, so I can uh, save money first of all, but also gather all this information from the internet. And majority of the world didn't have that opportunity like I did. And so before it trickles down to all these other people that are also present on this planet today, it's just going to take a lot longer than I would have expected 10 years ago. Because I was like, once the people hear about this, they will understand. But especially since COVID, I'm like, will they ever understand, you know? But okay.
right. Yeah,
yeah,
like I said, I think the reason why I talk about it like is dimensional is that there's people are um, kind of excited about this idea, and maybe even a lot within the truther community talking about like 5D ascension and other things. But I mean, this dimensional reality is with us now. I mean, it's like the opposite. It's the opposite of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And it doesn't have to do with fear of missing out either. It's like I said, it's tied in. It's tied into like I said, faith and hope, and also just a better way of doing things. I mean, we see this because we've worked within this space, and we're not affected by the rug pulls and and the scams, which most of them are human element. Um, and then, of course, any kind of bug exploit only makes the system stronger. Um, and then also the fact that all of these projects are open source is something amazing within itself.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's
that
the
that
shared
that
knowledge.
also ties into this idea of some kind of dimensional power. I'm going to keep on using that phrase because when I started in IT in the as a professional in the 90s, and um, as companies were exploring their expanding their internal networks to so we had the internet, and then we started talking about the intranet, which was already kind of a thing within companies, and an extranet, so you're reaching to the outside. um, and But then this idea of open source software was becoming more and more utilized within the IT space, and it was there was a mental block in the minds of many traditional IT software houses, because it's like how do we just give away our intellectual property? But um, the open source model is about uh, adding value on top of the underlying technology, and clearly there's a lot of strengths for having open source software with the auditability, and but it's about sharing as well. It's about taking an idea and sharing it with the world, and not trying to capitalize on an idea that um, well, I mean, I'm under the belief that like not all of our ideas necessarily come from our mind or our subconscious. And even if it is our subconscious is programmed by our interaction with the world and with others. So I don't think we can necessarily always claim our ideas as our own. I think it can be a bit egotistical to do that. I'm not trying to put any particular product or idea down, but I'm just trying to.
Well,
Uh,
if you say that, then my question would be: do you see a way, if we talk about this dimensional power, do you see a way how it's going to be contained for many more years into the future? And for example, by making self-custody illegal, wallet development illegal, and using the force that is currently, in place, being used by governments to keep the masses away from discovering that dimensional power that is building in a crypto.
well, you can't overpower these higher dimensional powers. Um, like we saw within COVID, a lot of people's were pushed to the pushed their back was pushed to the wall, and that's when you start pushing back. And I think the harder that they try to press these things, there's going to be more individuals that are going to feel compelled to push back, and um, so it's either going to go to complete tyrannical control, or um, it's going to have to give. And I'm 100% on the side that it's going to have to give, because I mean you can't live without hope. But I also I don't see it being possible for us to move to a totalitarian state.
No,
There's just too many people that are not going to allow that to happen.
I think so.
I mean, there's
I
people.
hope.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I
But
mean,
I'm yeah,
there's more people that are willing to die on a hill for freedom than die on a hill for tyranny.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, true.
I like your assessment, Michael. I like it.
Hmm.
Johan, you got something?
Well, yeah, we have a raffle also
You got a
going
raffle?
on.
Sure.
Yeah, I have to get the wheel.
Let's make it an Auroracoin raffle.
Okay, for Auroracoin, you have
I
some
have
more? Oh, you have.
I
Okay.
have 250 Aurora coins available for the next winner.
Okay. Then we do the raffle, and then we really see how much people there are on the stream.
I'll throw another 500 in.
Yeah, but we need to have enough listeners, huh? Wait. Yeah, here it goes.
Don't worry. Now I'm gonna participate also.
But I can
Yeah.
also, yeah, we can also like continue. I actually had a live stream on the 1st, so this is my second stream of the year, which is
Okay.
two more than last year, I think. I mean, there were some events last year, but I think that's another thing too. I mean, I've how do we identify those that are looking for a way into crypto, but not in a way to just quickly flip
Yeah.
to flip to Bitcoin or anything. I mean, it's their right if they want to do that, for sure.
Well, I can only get from my experience. I've been now streaming almost 4 years. I made more than 3,000 shows. Is that possible in 4 years? No, that's not
No,
possible.
no, I don't
More
think
than
so.
more than 1,000 episodes, more than 10,000 hours, something like. I kept the
Okay.
record. At some point, I stopped it, but
Yeah,
I given away a lot of crypto in those years, and my experience is that it's just only getting sold.
yeah,
So
yeah. There's what I would like to do is to have some more keepsake ways of storing crypto, and instead of giving away, yeah, I mean, I threw out 500. I mean, that's like I was going to say, just to finish my thought before, was if you guys want to continue doing some giveaways throughout the year, I'll contribute to that fund. I'm not,
cool.
you can use that the way that
Well,
you best find
Johan would
fit.
love that because he does a raffle every week amongst
Yeah.
his viewers, and they are a little bit different audience because it's we are called Freedom Radio. It's Johan's show. 10 years ago, I started a nation called Wonderland, and he found me, and since then I'm his sidekick, crypto sidekick.
Yeah.
But he has a little bit different audience than the average crypto hoarder, in a way, that is just looking for ways to get free crypto so he can save up more bitcoins.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
his
No,
audience is
I
just
mean,
a
I
little
think
different.
I would like to. I really need to get in touch with a friend of mine who's highly skilled in creating currency notes, usually with a sarcastic bent to it. But yeah, I would like to just give out like Aurora coin vouchers for just one Aurora coin, even though it's not worth much. But I mean, if someone, yeah,
I'll show you something. Wait, if I can find it, but because it's 10 years old, let me try to find something.
yeah,
Het rad wil niet tevoorschijn komen.
This was a creation by Gerrit, so maybe you can contact Gerrit once. I have vouchers.
We've been talking about vouchers in the community coins discussions. I think that's also possible. We're probably going to see this being used more within the Bitcoin space as well. There's one project that I was looking into recently called Tectum. I believe that's one that uh, is about bridging the use of cryptos using vouchers and paper vouchers. I always wonder though, like whether paper vouchers would be more threat to the government because of this traditional, that only the state has the right to print money, and like maybe if we start putting Bitcoin into vouchers, that could be.
No, I think it's completely legal. As long as you don't sell them, I think it should be okay. Because, for example, I don't know if you go to festivals, you always have plastic vouchers for a beer, you know, and you convert that. So you should see it like that. And I don't think you will get into trouble.
No, and I think also it's these governments are coming really close to infringing. Well, no, they've passed this line, infringing on our natural human right to a just and fair monetary system. So when it comes down to it, they really don't. We don't need their permission. I'm not seeking for their permission. If it comes to a point where, um, I'd have to go to prison for embracing my natural right for a monetary system. I mean, that would just be the way it has to be. Of course, it's Icelandic prison, so
Not as bad.
I wouldn't have this exact attitude in the States.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Hey, and one more thing,
but
Johan.
yeah, all joking aside, I mean, we have to this is a natural human right uh, to engage in fair economic activity.
I have the same mindset about that, Michael. And you know, I always say if everybody would do it, there would not be enough prison cells anyway. So I'll happily be sitting next to Julian Assange, even if it's in Belmarsh. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's more than worth it. Johan, I wanted to ask you because Tony is already waiting for us for over an
I
hour.
have a problem with the wheel.
Oh,
It doesn't
oh.
want to show up.
Tony, give it another second.
Yeah,
Johan,
well, anyway, he's already. People can already see him.
all right, and hear him also.
Toby, say something.
If you can unmute Tony.
It's okay. Hello, guys.
Hey,
Feel
Hi, Tony.
Tony is the hero of this show in a way because
Okay.
he filled in the gap. I had Tony was so flexible on time that I was able to build a planning with Tony as my joker card that I could fill in on every point that I had. I have tried, for example, to contact people like James Corbett and stuff like that. I didn't really expect them to be there, but until the last moment, I kept a little room for just in case if he would say hello. And Tony made it possible. So thanks for that, Tony. Great.
Thanks, Tony.
I've met Tony only 1 month ago, but I think 3 or 4 crypto projects said like, "Oh, Tony will speak on behalf of us." So
Yep.
we will hear a lot from him.
Yep. So, and today I want to talk about my project. It's named House of Bitcoin, and it's ended. But I not post a last video about finished this project. But I'm living in my own house, and I am spending a lot of Bitcoins. What I get from one member of Bitcoin community. And right now I have my own house. My dream is real, and I want to say thank you very much to all Bitcoin community. You're the best guys.
Amazing. I am
Yeah.
currently in the process of trying to fund my own house with crypto. That happens because a friend of me, his wife was diagnosed with a disease and they have to sell their house to pay the medical bills. And so I don't have the liquidity available in cash, in real world currency. No, I should say in debt government currencies. So we are currently in this entire day, we are crowdfunding also for the Libertarian Party of the Netherlands. All funds that come in, I will send in EFL to the Libertarian Party of the Netherlands. They accept also the EFL as a payment system. For example, if you want to become a member of their party, you can pay with EFLs. And so if you make a donation today, because usually if you make a donation for my crowdfunding, you will get back EFLs. But this time, if you send, there are many QR codes popping up at some point. If you send any of the crypto coins to the stream, I will convert those EFLs and send them to. Sorry, I will convert those coins to EFL and send that as a donation to the Libertarian Party. And hopefully, in the upcoming couple of weeks, I'm going to be very active speaking out about what I'm doing. And I will be able to somehow crowdfund myself into a house, Tony. So then we have a Peercoin house and the EFL house, and we're going to get an Auroracoin house maybe one day. And that's going to be open for everybody to visit, I believe, right, Tony? Everybody with some Peercoin can come over and live there if they want to.
And I have good news. The wheel has shown up.
The wheel has shown up. We are first going to do a little raffle.
Well, it takes some time because nobody has yet. It's still the same command. It's exclamation mark Ron Paul in the Twitch chat. Yeah.
If I'm correct, then it's gonna be a price of 750 Auroracoin.
I show the wheel on the background. When there are like 5 people on the wheel, then I do spin.
Okay.
At least 5 people.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Good.
So because I don't think there are much listeners now.
Where is this being streamed? Discord or?
No, on
streaming
Twitch,
on many platforms.
Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Kick, Odyssey, anywhere, Twitter.
Yeah. We got like 7 places where it's being streamed.
Maybe more, but I forgot them.
Yeah. You can find them if you go into the chat of Skype and scroll up into the chat. I don't know if you can see all the chat that happened in this group, but it's somewhere up.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
But the commands only work on Twitch and Stream Elements. Yeah. But continue, Toby. It's now your hour.
So, but right now I am support not only Peercoin because I'm like all old crypto, and I am support Novacoin, 32 coin, and Yamakani coin. Yamakani coin it's a new project. We started it, and on blockchain we'll working only in February, not right now. And I can talking about this later, maybe next streams. But and I like a Deutsche Mark. I was making for Deutsche Mark promo video. You can see this on my YouTube channel, Tony, and this will be just simple, funny video for community.
Please share the link with us, Tony. Now, out of all those names, I think I have traded all of those coins. And of 42 coin, I was once the owner of 1 out of 42 coins.
Yeah.
Just before it got it got changed to proof of stake, it was a proof of work coin. But there was an issue, I believe, with the code, and at some point, 84 42 coins were into circulation because they just kept on creating new, and then the code got updated. But just before that update, I managed to buy 42 coins. I believe I paid 5 Bitcoin cents for 142 coin, and now the price is 1.5 Bitcoin, I believe, for a 42 coin. So I have, of course, at some point taken profit, which I'm very happy about because that platform where I was trading went bankrupt or was on black at some point, and I lost all the coins that were still stuck there. So it's not always bad to take a profit, and in general, always take your coins off the exchange, because in my history of using Bitcoin, I don't know, should I say it, more than well over a couple hundred Bitcoins that I lost in my lifetime. But yeah, Tony, you are a very enthusiastic guy. I have watched your YouTube channel. You are making videos for crypto coins. you offer yourself as a promoter to crypto coins to make a promotional video on crypto. And so far, I liked your M&M. Can I have your attention, please? What's the name of that? My name is Tony. I like that.
Yeah, thanks, man. And yeah, but I have not only one YouTube channel. I have different channels. I think 3, 4 YouTube channels. Novacoin, Koresh Tony, House of Bitcoin, and Kryptoni. Kryptoni channel used many crypto coins, and I am talking in Russian language about crypto. But my Koresh Tony channel using a better place for English talking people, because I'm making right now my videos in English.
All right. Michael, before we really start off with Tony, if you want to stay, you are free to stay. I don't know how you feel about staying, but in case you want to leave, just let me know, because we're gonna thank you, of course, about all and everything that you did for us today. But you are still here, and feel free to ask your questions to Tony also, if you want to say something to him or have a.
Well, I mean, I want to thank Tony for his for his enthusiasm in a number of these projects. I mean, we've talked about doing something with the Auroracoin. I just really couldn't wrap my mind around how I want to do it, and probably I'm thinking bigger than something that can be done quickly or easily. But I've definitely got Tony on my list of like when I need a rap video, I know where I'm going.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed what I've seen so far, and so same problem for me. You know, I have made the national news. I have made national newspapers. I've always tried to promote things, and the results, in a way, are limited. You know, because you reach into your group that you already. Well, it's so same with me. I would love to fund a video with you one day, Tony, but at the moment, I don't see how I'm funding it. Let's say it like that. And you deserve to have your fee also, of course. So we will see about that. I'm definitely gonna one day have a video. Maybe it should be a Yoshi video. I don't know yet.
So I'm making much projects right now, but sometimes I'm doing this is for free because if I have free time for this, for sure. And in one day maybe I want to do something, maybe a little fun video about Auroracoin, because I was meeting with Mikael 1 year ago, I think, and he's cool man, yeah, and he support me, and I doing maybe 2 text in Russian on his Discord channel about Auroracoin. And I want to help you, Josh, with your dream about house, and I will be talking about this with my friends, because you're cool man too, and this is a great project in your dream. Very nice.
Don't forget, we are working on it, and there is a couple projects that I am promoting that way. Here's my Liberland passport, for example. I don't know if any of you already heard of Liberland, but we are streaming 20 miles out of Liberland at the moment. So changes are happening in the world, and although I don't believe that politics is the solution, and Liberland is only 7 square kilometers, where I'm trying to reach 8 billion people, so it will never be sufficient. I do think it plays a role in breaking that group hypnosis, as Michael already called it earlier today. We need tools to show people that a different reality exists out of their social bubble. And yeah, rap videos are a great way of sharing information, because there is a tune to it. And, you know, if it's a catchy tune and you make a good song, the message is much clearer, is much better received than when I am just, I'm wearing this clown wig for that reason in a way, to make it a little bit lighter, to make people triggered about, okay, it's also my expression about the clown world that we live in, but you need to trigger people. They can only learn if they want to learn. And otherwise, everything you will say will just go one ear in, the other way out, and they will not pick up any of the information that you give them. So in that way, I can really see benefits in a rap video. And for anybody watching, Tony is available on many locations. What is your YouTube channel, Tony? Could you share again the names?
You can just type on YouTube Cottage Tony and you can see my channel. 500 subscribers, I think.
Okay. I got it, Michael.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the Peercoin house, and that also kind of, you told me that story about how you simply asked to buy that house, and somebody actually did it, and so that was for me the trigger. Like, I've been giving away thousands more, well, hundreds thousands in a way, but it doesn't matter. I've given away crypto, and this is a moment where I could, or I could use it or receive it in a way. So then I was like, don't be ashamed to ask for it, and just go for it. And look at Tony, he did it, so you can do it also. So you inspired me, Tony, in that way. And you're just a very positive character, and you go with it. You see the opportunity. Of course, you have a different background. People can hear it a little bit. Maybe you are Russian, which is not the same mindset that people from Western nations have, who are, much more stuck in a way, less open-minded. They are much more used to a rule of law, if I can call it like that. There is, of course, also a rule of law in Russia, but people are much more self-sufficient. I have the idea, it's my perception. And because of that, they have much more creativity into taking an opportunity and making it comfortable for them, work for them. And people in Netherlands, I'm Dutch, so I spoke about Netherlands. They are waiting for somebody to tell them how to handle something, and then they will use it exactly in that way, and they will go to complain to that same guy if something is not working. Where people that
If I say something, what's typical Dutch is, if there's a problem and maybe somebody from Russia or from other country will say, "Hey, let's fix that." The Dutch people, they say, "No, the government should do something about it."
Yeah, let's
And they do
complain.
nothing about it, and the government also does nothing. They just take the money, and it takes a few years before they fix it. Yeah.
And that's why my goal for today was to find people that are working on solutions that are not complaining too much about, because it's easy to complain, and we can find 100 different ways to complain about everything. We can talk all day about how a Bitcoin transaction is $10, but what do we do about it? And so you are a great example of trying to work with the tools that are offered and finding a way of making it work for you personally. And that's something that, I really, really like about you, Tony. You have a very positive attitude towards everything. And so, I think you should. I'm glad that you are in our show today. Although, just like me, we don't really have a lot of technical knowledge. We don't really develop the core projects. But like Gerrit already mentioned earlier today, we need a lot of different people with a lot of different talents and skills to make this work. It's not just a blockchain. It's much more than that. And so, yeah, your Peercoin house, I will have to see how my life evolves, but I definitely plan on visiting it one day.
But Toby, how are the how do you think? How would you describe the people in Russia? How are they? Are they really like is there a problem? Okay, we fix it.
So, and I want to say, I want to say a little about my project because it takes less than 2 years, and
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
very hard work because I have some skills for building houses. And when I buying this house, was been an old house, and it was been a very far away, and right now when it's finished, I am feeling better myself right now, and I want to share with people's about share with people's with my video about my house, and this is will be only for English talking peoples, not for Russian, because Russia is not good place for crypto living here.
No?
Yeah.
How come?
Sorry.
Why not?
Mm. But I'm trying to do my best for crypto community, for any crypto, because this is future, but it is coming, and we need to take it and just use.
What makes it difficult to use crypto in Russia? Are the people not willing to accept the coins?
I think I know the answer.
I think what people in Russia scared about crypto because I thinking what this is a scam, big scam like pyramid, and you can lose all your funds.
Okay.
But if you doing with your mind, and if you're smart man, you'll be trending maybe. If you will be trading your money with crypto, you can lose, yeah, in one day. But if you buy and holding, if you're using this for real life, I think this is the best way.
Hmm.
So maybe any questions you have, guys, because I can ask, I can answer. Sorry, my English is not.
Let's ask this. What is your favorite coin, Tony? Do you have a favorite coin?
I don't have one favorite coin because I support, like I said, I support much coins. Auroracoin, Auroracoin, 32 coin, and EFL, any coins, and for sure Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin is it's just fun for funny, not for seriously. I thinking. I can say what I have only one coin.
Yeah, one Doge. No, I made a good profit when Elon moved in. And I like his explanation that he gave on it's about 1 year old video, the Full Send podcast. And they asked him, why Doge, Elon? Out of all coins, why do you pick Doge? And he said, because of the ongoing emission of 10,000 Doge per block. So there is an ongoing inflation. Dogecoin works as a currency much more than a Bitcoin that has a stable or a limited amount of units in circulation. And in a way, I support that message, you know. That's why my preferred coin to receive for this crowdfunding for this house that I try to buy, my goal is to receive 1 million Doge, which is somewhat ridiculous because I had more than 1 million a couple of years ago, but not today. So 1 million Doge would not only help me to buy that house, but also to show that crypto should be used, you know. And Elon Musk is currently scalping, I believe, Dogecoin to lower than 100 Satoshi again. I also believe that one day he will fork Dogecoin into proof of stake, and then he will have 25% of all coins, generating him more coins. But he has, for example, an X platform. So if he makes Dogecoin the native coin of X, it can become very big, I think.
Mhm. I was also thinking that maybe it could be he will do the same thing as you have Memo.cash on Bitcoin Cash. That's
Uh-huh.
it's
Yeah.
running on the blockchain of Bitcoin. That he will let Twitter run on the blockchain of Dogecoin.
I don't
Yeah?
believe that's
Yeah.
possible.
Okay.
That's too much data for a blockchain.
Yeah, I don't know.
How much gigabyte do you think all those Twitter messages produce every day?
Yeah.
That's,
You would have giant blocks like BSV.
no, I don't think that's a good use case for. Well, yeah, I could be wrong, but Michael, how would you see that? Do you think a platform like Twitter could,
X, by the way.
sorry, a platform like X could publish all messages on a blockchain of Doge?
No, I don't think that's possible either.
Maybe. Well, I have the idea. It runs on like it is nowadays, but when you say, "Hey, I want to memorize this block," you pay a certain amount of Doge, and then it will be memorized on the blockchain.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
yeah.
there's
So nobody
I
can
mean,
take it away.
yeah, I mean, I think the individual message IDs and a link to maybe another decentralized storage solution. But I think, yeah, there would have to be some strong use case made for like the immutability of these messages. I mean, right now people can still go through and delete old messages, which I think, I mean, at least in Europe, I mean, we have the right to have all of our data deleted from online or social media sites, or actually any website. Um, and I think there's other ways that people can can save old tweets. I mean, we see that happening, but I think allowing, I don't know. I like the idea that you can delete your old tweets just because it's, I don't know, if you still have the account, you should be able to make changes to your account. But
Yeah.
at any rate, I mean, that's neither here nor there as far as the use case of storing um, Twitter on the blockchain. I think it would depend on what, if there was any monetization involved with liking a tweet or retweeting a tweet, anything where you'd need that record of transaction made. So the IDs for the individual messages and the reactions. Um, I don't see. I mean, it could definitely be stored in Dogecoin. There may be some engineering changes that need to be made, but no, not the media itself.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Hey, and just a question that pops up now. Iceland is not part of the EU, is that correct? Or are they
that's
part of
correct.
the EU?
We are not.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
then your currency, is that like a krona?
It's a kroner, just like
Okay.
the other Scandinavian countries, and so we do have a central bank, and I do believe that's also part of the same owners that own most of the central banks.
Yeah. And the
It's a little
value of
harder.
one Icelandic krona, is it similar to the other kronas, like $0.1 euro?
It's maybe like a fifth of the value of the other kroners. Yeah.
Oh, so 2 cents, more like 2 cents.
I yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm
50
not I'm
krona,
not
50
completely versed
Icelandic.
in it, but I think there's like 20 or 30 per euro with
Okay,
the Danish,
okay.
with the other coins, and then with us it's like 140. So
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
And
no, sorry,
yeah,
I
maybe I
sorry.
might be leaving this stream here soon. Um,
But in that
so
case,
maybe I'll take
Michael,
this opportunity to make that announcement.
For the raffle wheel, you mean?
I mean, just for this interview, yeah, I think I'm going to be bouncing out
Oh.
pretty soon. But I'm
Yeah.
going to be keeping an eye on y'all's stream. I'm going to find it on. I'll find it on one of these other networks. I definitely want to tune in later with some of your other speakers, like Yoel Venezuela.
Yeah.
If I got his name right.
He's also like me, living just on crypto without a
Exactly.
bank account. And so
Yeah, I mean, I would do the same if I could here. I mean, there's I pay for my Auroracoin 101.is. That's like I have a few sites that I've launched with Auroracoin. One of them is Auroracoin 101. That's a community outreach. I'm hosting that I'm paying Bitcoin for that. And
you need to find a gold shop that accepts Bitcoin. That's how I
I just need to
manage.
find a gold shop, period, in Iceland. You know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, we had. I mean, you can. Of course, there's jewelry shops, but there was a couple of coin shops, but They haven't been open for a while. So um,
That's how I managed to do it. And in the peak of Bitcoin, I bought a gold, and then I was able to transact that gold and do my finance through that. I use gold a lot next to crypto. In the village where I'm currently living, it's much easier to have gold than crypto because there is like 5 gold shops where I can go. And if I want to spend crypto, I need to travel 1.5 hours
okay.
for exchange. So I
Yeah.
don't completely, everybody needs the debt currency for things, but not a bank account in a way. So
Yeah. Yeah, we had one of the Liberland guys come over to Iceland a few years ago
okay.
and meet up with we had a blockchain foundation meeting. Sometime like in 2019, the previous Auroracoin management team liquidated like 80% of our I don't want to call it a developers fund, but like a foundation fund, because none of the team members, including myself, have ever received any of the pre-mined coins. It was only for distribution to the citizens of Iceland, and then we burnt half of the pre-mined coins, and then there was like just 1 million coins left over, and 800,000 of them were sold to launch this Icelandic Blockchain Foundation, which is an advocacy group within Iceland. And that was one of the meetings that the Liberland guys met with. I was on mute before, but that's a really nice looking passport you got there, by the way.
Well, we can talk about that because don't believe that Liberland will bring you freedom.
Yeah.
But okay, that is. I was one day persona non grata of Liberland, and I can tell you a lot about it. But in a way, I do see a need for projects like Liberland. It's just that after experiencing it, I was at some point number 5 on the list of sponsors or
Yeah, now everything should be all right.
right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe better because I don't want to talk bad today. I have my own beliefs of things, and I just don't see how politics is going to be the solution to this problem that we are facing. But Liberland is a good tool to shake up people from the reality they are stuck into. So in that way, it can work. But for me, Liberland is a bunch of no, I will not go into that. We can talk about it one day, Michael.
There are a bunch of people. Not everybody. People are usually not always perfect. They have the flaws.
No, that's true. That's true. But I don't want to build a wall and call myself free. I don't think it works like that. So.
Yeah, I'm just looking up the Free State project in the States, and I'm trying to remember. Oh, New Hampshire. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I think Joel is also big in that. He's big in that.
Yeah.
For me, the only border I recognize is the border of our atmosphere, and we need to somehow overcome the differences that have been built up over the centuries. And everybody has the right of their own beliefs and their own values and their own culture, of course. And we don't have to be one world citizen. But I think the problem we are facing is not going to be solved by building small state cities. If I want to live in a 15-minute city, I could have just stayed in the Netherlands. So.
Yeah, I live in a 15-minute city.
Yeah. And more
I don't know if
people
I don't know if they're going to try to make it a 5-minute city, but I like being able to, walk across town in 15 minutes. But
Yeah, and in Iceland it is really different because you are already such a small island,
That's right. Yep.
But the problem with all that is that as soon as you're going to leave your location and all the different rules apply that are not for the freedom that you are allowed within your 15 minutes, as soon as you're going to leave your 15 minutes, you're going to be
Yeah, and just to
treated
be clear, I was having a joke with the living in a 15-minute city, because I was just having a joke with that. I mean, clearly 15-minute cities are not a good development in.
You can freely walk out of your city.
Yeah,
that is basically what I see Liberland becoming, and if they manage to build that, they will get recognized by all the other governments in the world, because then they will be the lead example of how everybody wants to become, and that is the game they are playing today. And I think it's my ultimate goal today is to build a new religion, because religions also have their own privileges. And if we can all just come together and say we are not created by God, but we are all from an alien, and we do have a source power, but we are only we demand to be judged by the intergalactic alien universe, or whatever you want to call it. Then that is gonna be our rule of law. Then I think that is the way how to get out of the current power structure. So that is what I'm gonna focus my future on, to develop a accepted religion where you can live freely. Let's say it like that.
Yeah. Kijk, people, you can still type ! Ron Paul in the chat, and then you make a chance to come on the wheel. Until now, nobody has done it yet.
Oh no. Yeah. We are broadcasting for ourselves again. Let me put myself.
No. There are listeners, but nobody is. Hey, there's something in the chat.
That's me. That's me.
Okay. So it's working.
Okay, well, at least we established that. Michael, if you, for example, want to have lunch or something, we keep it going. In a couple of minutes, I see we have the one Bitcoin maximalist that I've invited for today. I really like this guy a lot, and the way how he handles, how to say it right, how he handles Bitcoin, because he is he always keeps those people in mind that a lot of Bitcoin maximalists forget about. It's all those people stuck in the groupthink that simply don't have a clue what is going on, and they don't really want to think about it because they have their own specific skill set and they are busy doing that, and so he I can introduce him already a little bit. He won a court case against this Dutch central bank last month because his company is regulated in the Dutch law so that he is allowed to offer fiat services to people. And the fee that they had to pay was promised to be around $50,000, and then it became $1 million. And they fought a court case about it, and they won. So I want to congratulate him for, well, basically taking it up for Bitcoin, because you can very easily just say, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna throw the towel or I put the towel in the ring, and I'm just gonna give up on this fight and walk away from it because I don't need to fight. But he is fighting for all of Bitcoin in a way.
He's only coming for 15 minutes?
Only 15 because this guy is busy guy, so he
Oh,
can
yeah,
only
yeah,
be.
yeah.
I hope it's
He
gonna be
runs a
15.
company. Yeah,
Yeah, many more than once, and
yeah.
I'm very happy that he made time to be here today. So I'm looking forward to that, and I want to know from him how he sees the future. Maybe that is we already spoke about it, Michael. We already spoke about it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. In 15 minutes he's coming. I'm feeling my stomach.
Okay, I will
eat something.
I will just put out a 15-minute rant. If you want to say something, Michael, you are also welcome to do.
I'll be
so.
back. I'll be back.
But you just said that you wanted to leave.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I just want to thank you for having me on today, and
thank you for coming, Michael. You know, it's two-sided.
Yeah, and we're holding our ground here in the Auroracoin project.
Right.
Keeping up the development with the Community Coins project. I also manage or develop a browser wallet, and I've seen like 100% growth in usage this last year.
Cool.
We actually had our last halvening in Auroracoin last June. That was, I think, our third halving event.
Because I heard that you burned some of your coins. Is that correct?
That's right. We pre-mined 50% of the coins, and for the full nation of Iceland. So all like 300,000 Icelanders would get like 32 Aurora coins. So that was like 10 million, but only about half of them were claimed. So half of those coins were burnt. So that was like 25% of the coins, 5 million out of 21 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Then I'm Auroracoin rich.
Yeah. I mean, there's not as many coins out there as there's. I think we have a lot of coins that have gone lost over the years.
Of course.
So really the prices, I mean, I think once
it's ridiculous at the moment, but that's with so many projects, Michael.
Yeah, there's so many that are low. So I feel actually pretty confident or enthused. I mean, we've maintained our price amazingly well. But I think that's just and also the blockchain has been working great over the years. Also, what was interesting last year is that since that halving event, like within 1 month, we found a new a new low. So the price went from somewhere around 50 sats to like 80, 90 sats, and it doesn't really go below that now. So that's the miner's price. So it was good to get some actual price discovery there.
Right.
And so
I've been picking. For me, everything that goes below 100 Satoshi is coming on my radar in a way. And then I'm looking at things, and just like with Auroracoin, I have been purchasing them below 100 Satoshi. And then I'm thinking, wow, how amazing that I got this opportunity. And I cannot believe all these people that are then going to talk bad about the project, saying that it has died. No, it's 100 Satoshi, man. Once we reach 1 million, that is $1 per coin, and it's not about the price. Why don't people see that?
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, I cannot believe the time we live in today, in a way, you know. And I really, you know, I'm crowdfunding myself to buy a house, but I really feel like in 5 years' time I can buy 100 houses with all these crypto coins I'm picking up. So
Yeah, yeah. It's
it
about.
is,
I think we if we keep moving in this direction and are community minded, then there's going to be a natural tendency for these communities to grow, and depending on how um, dictatorial our various governments want to go, it's going to dictate how uh,
yeah,
the direction of some of these smaller communities. I mean, we could easily set up a community by the ocean here with also near a glacier, and so we'll have our freshwater fish. Um, and I mean, we're also we've been blessed with a very strong economy in the last 30 or 40 years. So if there's people that wanted to help
oh shit. Oh,
launch
sorry.
some kind of community like this, it wouldn't be a impossible task by any means. Um, but yeah, I guess on that note, I will sign out and just be.
All right. Michael, if you want to join later, you are always welcome as a sidekick, you know, and to talk a little bit about, you know, everybody asks his own questions.
Yeah.
And so it's always nice to got your input also.